China's President Xi Jinping says the world faces a choice between peace or war. Xi was speaking at a military parade to mark the 80th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. In a show of unity, Xi was flanked by allies Vladimir Putin of Russia and North Korean leader Kim Jong Un. It's the first time the three leaders have all appeared together in public. The parade of military hardware through Tiananmen Square included nuclear missiles. Now, the event has been seen by many as a propaganda coup for Xi and his vision of a new global order to rival the US-dominated West. Now, North Korean ruler Kim Jong Un was accompanied to Beijing by his teenage daughter. It was her first public outing overseas. The young woman, known as Kim Jong Un, has previously appeared in public at events inside North Korea. Pyongyang has never confirmed her identity or even her name, but South Korean intelligence says she could likely be her father's successor. Let's speak to Rachel Minyouyng. She's a senior fellow at Stimson Center, a think tank for international security. Welcome to DW, Rachel. Now, South Korean intelligence is saying this young woman at Kim Jong Un's side is his daughter. She hasn't been publicly introduced to us. If I remember a few years ago, we did see pictures of a girl with him. Is this the same girl, the same daughter?
Yes, Kim Jong Un's daughter, from what we know, her name is Jue. She made her first public appearance at an ICBM launch site in November 2022. So at the time, she would have been around 9 to 10 years old.
And what more do we know about her?
What we know about her actually comes from Dennis Rodman, a former U.S. basketball player. He was invited to Pyongyang in 2013, and he was introduced to this daughter. Apparently, she was born around 2013, and that she was a daughter of Kim Jong Un, and that her name was Jue. And of course, the name Jue is according to Dennis Rodman, so there's a possibility that her name could be something slightly different.
Right. What can we read into, or how much can we read into Kim Jong Un bringing his daughter to big political events like the Beijing parade?
Well, so just for a little bit of context, since Kim Jong Un made her public debut in November 2022, the first year or two, her public appearances were primarily limited to military and weapons-related sites and events. And since then, she has broadened the scope of her public activities to economic visits, social, cultural events and sites. And in May 2025, so this would have been a couple of months ago, she made her diplomatic debut by accompanying her father, Kim Jong Un, to the Russian embassy in Pyongyang to commemorate Russia's Victory Day. So her visit to Beijing would be her second diplomatic appearance. But of course, this is on a different level compared to her visit to the Russian embassy in Pyongyang, because this is her international debut. Now, the symbolic nature of this is great. The optics internally and externally reinforces the notion that that has been out there for quite some time, that she is a strong candidate to be the next North Korean leader after Kim Jong Un. However, I think that it may be too early to draw that conclusion, given the fact that she is now only about 12 years old, and the fact that Kim Jong Un, despite his health issues, is still quite young. He's only about 41 years old.
Right. And looking at the bigger picture, what does it tell you that North Korea is seizing this opportunity, stepping to the limelight of the world stage, on this rare trip abroad for the ruler?
I think Kim Jong Un made quite the impression, standing side by side to great leaders of two great powers, Xi Jinping and Putin. who also happen to be leaders of nuclear powers. I think the message, I mean, you don't even have to read what comes out of North Korean media. You know, the images that you saw on TV and the photos, you know, it made such a strong impression, right? That Kim Jong Un is a major player. North Korea is a major player in an anti-US, anti-West bloc led by China and Russia. And also the fact that he was standing next to the leaders of these nuclear powers also gives the impression that he has been accepted as one of them. So making it all the more difficult for any nuclear negotiations going forward.
Okay. Rachel Minyouyng Lee from Stimson Center. It's good to have your thoughts. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you for having me.